Welcome to Meadowbrook Members Podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glacier Prince, and my co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. When over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small coeducational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 boys, 800 girls and 400 boys into a successful sports and scholastic champion, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we'll be speaking to persons, both males and female, who were actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment which created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement as you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us. All right, ready? So remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Members podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Today is Saturday, May 27, 2023. And welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook memories. Me, as usual, Jelly, our Prince, our Glacier, our Lance. And by now, you know, so any one of those names will do. Joining me as co-host today is Margaret Livermore, and she's the person mainly responsible for most of the female them who have joined these Meadowbrook members conversation. And we will be eternally grateful for that. And you can go back to episode number 22 to listen to Margaret Livermore's Meadowbrook memories and like, share, and subscribe while listening. However, Margaret has broadened her outreach and is now reaching out to Meadowbrook students who started in Meadowbrook a generation after we left in the 1980s. Because as I say on these conversations, you have to just come Meadowbrook one day and we want to hear your memories and your story. Our guest today started Meadowbrook in 1995 and graduated in the year 2000. He described himself as a man who loved bio and geography, but did not do too well in physics or chemistry. He also said he used to fix and modify headphones when he attended Meadowbrook, and that statement alone explained the generation gap between when Margaret and I were at Meadowbrook, because I don't even know if a headphone will call it much as I fix it. But we're forgetting that and explain how that works. However, I'm looking forward to a conversation from our guest who has a passion for photography. And you only have to look on him Instagram page and you'll be blown away by the pictures our guests have taken. Anyway, without further ado, Meadowbrook members welcome Francis Coombs to the conversation. Introduce yourself, Francis.
Hey, Jelly. Hey, Margaret. What's up? How everything?
Yeah, man. Thank you, Francis. And
Hi, awesome, good.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what year you started Meadowbrook, Francis, before I ask you the first question? What year you started and what year you left? Just repeat what I said.
Well, I started in 1995 and left in 2000.
Okay,
You know?
cool. And Margaret, reintroduce yourself.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Margaret Livermore, class of 83. I am really excited about this conversation. I've been waiting to have conversations with our alums who graduated in the 2000s. Very, very curious to see what their experience was like. I met Francis in April at the art show at Meadowbrook, and I was blown away. His photography is really, really inspiring and awesome. Thanks for coming, Francis.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Francis. You say you listened to a couple of these podcasts before, and by now you should know the first question I ask anybody who comes on them podcast is our conversation that that's in that podcast. Did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose you?
I believe Meadowbrook chose me because when I passed my common entrance examinations, I passed for Kingston College, and my dad decided he was going to have me transfer to Meadowbrook, mainly because the traffic to get down to KC in the mornings is horrible. So I'm like, cool, no problem. Go-ed schools, I'm all for it.
So did you pick for KC?
Um, Actually, my dad picked schools for me, like two schools. KC and I think JC or Calabar, I'm not quite sure, but I got through for both of them.
Okay. And then even when pick for them school, them change your mind after you pass the exam?
Yeah, man, because it wasn't about to fight with that traffic in the morning time.
So
I realized Meadowbrook was very much closer.
oh, so where you used to live?
Stony Hill.
Okay, I got you. So just come off of the hill and make a ride that's in there Meadowbrook for through. Yeah.
Yeah, man, go through Cassava Piece, cut through the traffic and come down Mannings Hill Road.
So him never think about it at all and pick them school left here then. Because it wasn't aware of the traffic.
Well, it's pretty. I don't think he had to take it into consideration because I think he's a KC old boy, was a KC old boy. And my brothers before me, I think one went to Calabar, one went to KC. I'm not too sure where the other one went to, but yeah. So it was kind of like, tradition.
Okay. Meadowbrook, so you never know about Meadowbrook at all before you come on the campus? Or even your father said my transfer to Meadowbrook?
No, it was a boy and girl school, and I wasn't too fond of going to all boys school. And hearing all them rumors of how them used to rag and bully the newbies them.
Yeah.
And make them wind up on Punce and them thing there. Like, nope, not about that life.
Yeah. So you were happy when you hear you get that when Meadowbrook called it and I just said Meadowbrook chose you.
Yeah, Meadowbrook chose me.
Yeah. So the first time you go up on the Meadowbrook campus in Francis, what was the experience like? You go up on the school campus? Because I have never been there before. Were you aware where it was?
No idea.
Okay, so when you see it the first time, what impression you get?
Well, coming from like a primary school, Dunrobin, and going to Meadowbrook was a big change. Because back in the days, Dunrobin was a little dust bowl. It's like you come down to school, big old dust field, like a bridge over into the school itself, and it's cool. Now coming into Meadowbrook, it's a whole different ball game. Like this big old gate, walking in on a bicycle parking lot, and these big buildings. I'm like, okay, this is going to be an experience. I was basically a greenback. Didn't know what to expect.
So what impression you get of the surroundings of the school? Before I talk to you about the classroom, what impression you get of the location and the surroundings?
The surroundings?
Yeah.
Well, more urban compared to being in the city. As it's surrounded by a lot of residential homes, and it kind of gave an uptown feel. So this was like a whole change of environment for me. Didn't really know what to expect.
So it kind of surprised you then that you realized that the school was nestled in the middle of two residential community.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
So the first year upon the campus, if you can remember, the first term, what some of the friends then where you remember meeting upon the first term you come to Meadowbrook?
Why? Some of the first. That's a good idea because half of them I don't remember. I mean, in first form, I don't remember half of them. There's this one girl I remember, the Antoinette Crawford, baby, because I had a crush on her, but yeah, like a short girl, she's kind of cute and all. But there's this one by Dennis Isaacs. I remembered him. His mom, I think she taught biology. She was a teacher there. And the maths teacher, he took an interest in him. Wanted to seeing progress. And well, Dennis was never really interested in maths class. So, that went between him and the teacher. It wasn't really nice for him.
Who was a maths teacher?
I'd have to think. What's his name? I know he was in charge of the school challenge quiz.
Mm-hmm.
I do not remember his name right now.
Mm-hmm.
He was very strict. And yeah, you didn't want to joke around in his class because he not have to pick on you.
It wasn't Mr. McGregor you attack.
No, man, not Mr. McGregor. He taught me physics. Wait, McGregor. Yeah, McGregor, short man, kind of bald head,
Yeah, man.
kind of stuff. Yeah, him teach me physics. No, him never teach me maths.
Yeah, man. He was
And there was
there.
another man who,
He was
yeah,
there.
he was there.
He was there when I was there, man. That's why I can't remember him name. Him never teach me, but him was at school while I was at school. I was in sixth form, and him did fourth, fifth, and sixth form, but him never teach me maths. But yeah. So
Yeah, he was my physics teacher. Didn't really learn much in his class. And eventually I left his class.
yeah, you never like physics at all. Yeah.
Well, he tried to teach me maths, Francis.
Okay.
Tried to.
Well,
Yeah,
tried to
tried
understand.
very hard. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the physics teacher I had before him, though, when in second or third form, I actually learned in his class. I don't remember his name. He taught maths as well. Um, the nickname we gave him was Antsman. Yeah, but in his class, I actually built a motor from scratch. It was a group work, but I just said the group members didn't really care much. I just went ahead and did my research and built that and got the grade.
But let me ask you a question, Francis. Just stepping back a little. Before you come Meadowbrook, what type of reputation Meadowbrook had at the time, in the 1995 when it started Meadowbrook? What was Meadowbrook known as? Once you know say you got Meadowbrook, what kind of reputation you hear about Meadowbrook?
Honestly, I really don't remember the reputation because it was very vague. It's like the top schools at the time was Immaculate, KCJC, Calabar, Champion College. Those are the ones that I remember that being the top schools. And with Champion, it's like, and Immaculate, you go there, you better have money because school fee wasn't nice.
And Meadowbrook never have no sports reputation known to you as a sporting school, if you have no reputation at all when you go there.
Nope, not at all.
So were you surprised when you hear upon them podcast, Meadowbrook sporting achievements in the 1980s?
No, I'm not surprised because it's quite similar to the West Indian cricket achievements in the 1980s. They were dominant
Yes, I forget about
right
that.
up until the 90s.
Yes, I forget about that comparison, Francis. That is true. And it's like West Indies cricket team them exists now. That is so true. That is so true. And who was the principal and who were some of the teachers that you remember, Francis?
Well, there was Mrs. Law. I think she came over from Hillel, and she came when I think Miss Headlam left. I'm not sure if I got the name right.
Mr. Who?
But I definitely remember Mrs. Law. When she came over, I was in second form, and she used to blast classical music over the intercom in the morning time. And not many students were happy about that. It was pretty boring for them.
What do you mean? What classical music at what time? Like for devotion or something like that?
Right before devotion, early morning.
And how long was that?
I mean, how long she'd blast it,
Yeah.
or
How long?
in the morning?
Yeah.
She'd start probably like an hour and blast it right up until devotion time and then done.
Hold on. Let me get this right. So from your come to school, I just want to understand. From your come to school and to the classroom before, you hear classical music.
Yeah, your classical music.
Wow. That's some change. Sorry, Margaret, could you have lived through that?
I actually could, Jelly, because I like classical music. I like all music. I like most music genres. I don't, and my Caribbean people, please forgive me, but the truth is the truth. I'm not a fan of calypso, and I don't like heavy metal and that kind of acid music. I don't like those, but everything else I can appreciate.
But when I ask Francis then, because I'm say it was a torture for you, and what would the student them? Or are you one never like classical music?
I learned to ignore it. It became background music until it disappeared in my head.
Okay, you never too attracted to it. And what did the student them say?
Other student them, some of them just come school and bring them Walkman and them headphones and just blast the music in them head and stuff like that. Sometimes I would get my headphones and have my own little Discman and just listen to some tunes. But that was like on, you know, certain occasions because you didn't want them to catch you with that and would confiscate that.
I just gonna ask you
So
that
yeah.
if you are allowed to carry a headphone, you'd have to hide it. And you
If
walk.
I had that thing in my bag, yeah, if I had it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Probably after school, you can take it out and go and listen
That
to
is
it and
really
them not trouble you.
interesting.
Yeah, go ahead, Margaret.
I'm saying that was really interesting. I was very surprised to hear that about the music being played in the mornings. We never had any kind of music.
No.
Well, and yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
But
Go ahead.
Yeah,
come to
man.
think of it, Jelly, did we actually have an intercom? I don't remember us having an
No, we never have
intercom
the
either.
intercom at the time, The technology never reached that
No,
stage
man.
that we're a speaker in the classroom, because that's what it sounded like, Francis, that the speaker, every classroom was wired to an intercom where you could have.
Yeah.
No, it didn't. The classrooms them didn't have the intercoms. It like, them broadcast speakers and put out in the yard and stuff like that, like the megaphone
Oh,
style
really?
Oh,
speakers. Yeah.
Oh, when you say
okay.
it that way, then I have a different view. Right? That sound like a concentration camp. Sorry.
Jelly,
Yeah.
Jelly,
So I tell you,
Jelly, really, Jelly?
the first vision come to my mind, like a prison. I may say, but
Oh my God.
megaphone and the thing a blast you like it's a propaganda thing. I never know that. That
Feel
never.
like
Oh
a
my
World War
God.
II thing with a switch.
Eh?
Jelly,
Like a World War II thing.
Jelly, the
Yes.
lady was trying to instill some culture.
In the school.
She was trying to instill some culture. Yes.
Yeah, no, me hear you.
Jelly,
I hear you.
you're so funny. All right.
No, I just said no. Listen, sorry. The first vision come to my mind. Sorry. Speak up on anything I think about Bagway and I say, right.
It's fine.
Nobody gonna further with. No, I
Yeah,
hear you.
but Jelly, I don't want to start me laughing, because once I start laughing, it's hard for me to stop. Oh boy. All right.
So Francis,
So,
yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
go ahead.
in regards to confiscated items, leading up to the time for me to leave Meadowbrook
Yeah.
is when cell phones start to come in. I see them little people, them little students, them coming, them little banger phone, little Nokia 3310 and stuff there. Rolling in school with the phone and that was some with that pose little Bluetooth headset and little wired headset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, technology was taking off from the 2000s going upwards.
Mm-hmm. Just about the time when you leave, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what you call it? When near Margaret, you call it earlier, Francis. I forget the name, and I'm gonna have one to where you play a CD pan.
CD player,
This
Walkman,
man. This man.
This man,
Discman.
and the small one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This man.
Yeah. With the
I
graduate
had
year.
Yeah,
one
man.
as well.
Yeah, everybody that was That was the thing, because I never have no phone to walk with at all.
No, sir, no phone.
No,
And
no.
even when you had the phone back in those days, the most the most you could get on it is a radio, and even that was a luxury if it had a radio.
Yeah. No, the phone never equipped for that as it is now. It have everything. That was out of the question. That was out of the question,
Yeah,
Francis. So, Francis, you remember your
definitely.
first day at Meadowbrook? I mean, you're coming out of school now. What you have any memory of the first day, the first term, the first year? What you remember
First
most
day is
about the early days at Meadowbrook? I'm put it away there. I'm broadening the question for you.
what I remember most about the early days of Meadowbrook. Working in the metalwork department.
Mm,
Fixing and modifying headphones, and I was switching out the speakers to make them sound better, getting more bass in it. And when the cards started to give trouble and get short, I learned how to use a solder iron and just switch on the cards, like get a new card and splice it and switch on it.
mm,
And one of my schoolmates then decided that he was going to build a little amplifier so you can plug the headphones in it and then plug that in the CD player itself to boost the volume. I'm like, that was pretty dope. Other than that, I remember like end of semester when them having them water wars, filling up bags with water and throwing on each other and signing uniforms and tops and stuff there. I mean, there was one particular semester when Miss Headlam was walking around giving, I call it suspension for water war, which to me didn't make any sense because this was like the last days of school. Like, what use is it going to be to suspend? And I found out like a year below mine, they planned for her. Like they got a garbage pan and they filled it with water. And they went on top of, I think it was the first round block, and as she was walking around, they turned it over and duck her with it.
wow.
Yes. Up to this day, I don't think they know who did it. So she just suspended the whole of that year group.
I mean, suspend them. And it's suspended from the
Wow.
school term next year?
I don't remember if I went to school there or she suspended.
Yeah, go ahead, Francis. I want to film job.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was for the school term, but she suspended them.
Yeah.
And to me, that was quite interesting. I'm like, children having fun. Let them have them fun in the last days of school. What you can't do about it. All other teacher them no business about them.
Yeah. That's some step on the tech for waiting him. I never hear about that at all. Whenever I don't remember we doing that in our time at Margaret.
First not, you know, you're mad. That wouldn't even be a thought.
No.
Our,
Yeah. So these were
wow.
these were what age group would do this what age group under the water war? The young first farm, second farm, third farm. Which grade age group are engaged in that? Or the entire school?
From third farm right up to the fifth farmers.
Or
The
the
sixth
older set
farmers
of
them not engaged in that.
student them? Okay, I got you.
Yeah, man. The older set of students. Because the younger one them, they don't know no better than not follow. Some of them more rebellious may partake in it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's just the older set of students doing it because it's for them fun, for them little freedom.
So what?
So Francis, you said that
Yeah,
you were adjusting headsets. That was in first form?
that was in second farm going up to fifth farm.
Okay. That's impressive.
And by the way,
Oh,
Francis.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Jelly, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna ask Francis a question. By the way, when you start in Meadowbrook, how many farms are there? How many first farms are there? In terms of like 6 different first farm or 5?
how many? 6.
So all them label
There
them
was
like from A to E or what? What does the label like?
it'll be I think it'll be labeled based on the teacher who was in charge of that, the teacher's last name. Like you have what's first form like what 7W, 7A, 7D with based on the teacher's first letter and last name.
Oh,
So
really?
my own she was Walker. Yeah, mine was Walker, 7W.
Oh, so you must try to get rid of the stigma from, say, A, B, C, D, E, F, or 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wouldn't have known that at all. That's very interesting in terms of how did that work out in terms of every year then the first farm, when you go to the second farm then how that work? It depends on the teacher too. Your class is named after the teacher?
Yeah.
Oh really?
Same with second form. Yeah, man.
So in a situation like that, and I just ask as I don't know, grades never matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter what grade you get, or it depends on which classroom you're going to. Or you wouldn't have known.
Well, to my knowledge, grades did matter because coming out of common entrance, I was placed in the bright class, 7W. And them call us the nerds.
So, but
So
hold on, Francis. So, I mean, you know that at the bright class, after there's, I know say it's a 7A or 7-1. You know that at the bright
that was
class.
well when I came in, they said, oh, the 7W at the bright class with all the bright students and with the high marks coming in from common entrance and stuff there. And then it's like the other classes going on depends on the type of grades. So I realized the more rebellious students were at the second to last and the last grade, which was like at the bottom because like the first form block, is like the big block, two,
Mm-hmm.
3-story block. And the brightest class was at the top. When you go up to the top floor. And it was the first class on the top floor. And then going down the line is in order of the grades.
Yeah, so even though, but yeah, I'm curious, Francis, so even though you never have no label for say it was, because when I go to school, there's 1A, 1B, and 1C. And
Yeah,
it kind of obvious what I say in terms of the grades of the student them and all them. I was in a B stream, right?
yeah.
And you say them naming after the teachers them, the classroom them. But you still know which set of student is brighter than the which.
Yeah, man. We still know.
So
And then going up to like second form is like you get filtered out based on your grades.
what do you mean?
Because all right, so if you do good, continue doing good in first form, you'll be put in a bright class going in second form and so forth going further like third form you place in a bright class again and fourth form and fifth form all yeah, that's how they normally do it.
Yeah, no, which
So
kind of makes sense. But we just want to know, I want to know which are the bright class. It wasn't like 1A, 2A, 3A I go up. Is that it? I want to know which class are the bright class.
they would tell us because again, it's based on the teacher and stuff, and they would definitely tell us which is the bright class going forward. Um, so that's something we wouldn't really have to ask.
Who would I tell you? Like the administrator or the teacher that tell you?
The teachers would tell us, and to some extent, like the prefects, like the sixth formers who are assigned as prefects, they would tell us too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious about. So, all that conversation ago, I'm curious. I'm very curious. That's why I'm not digging into it, Francis. I completely different than when me and Margaret go to school. You didn't know. Nobody never have to tell you nothing. All that conversation ago.
It is to be honest, kind of hard to explain how that conversation would have gone, to my understanding, because we just know we know who the bright students were when they placed them in that class. Because after 7W, I think it was 8W. I'm not sure, but I definitely remembered where that bright class was. Because when I went into our second form, I went into 8D, which was like the third tier.
8O?
So 8D,
Yeah.
D for David.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do not remember that teacher's last name. I don't know if it was a D, but yeah.
Margaret, you understand the curiosity with that system there?
I do. I do.
So it not confuse you.
I've been not not really. Let me tell you one of the things that I've noticed with people in general is that once you're considered a little brighter than the norm, it's like you're treated a little bit different. You're positioned a little bit different. So first form, I wouldn't have expected them to know, but by second form, we could have figured it out based on how they move people around. You understand?
Yeah.
So let's say you're in a class, right? And you know that Francis always get 90s in all of his subjects. And we got second form now, and Francis stays in 2W. But somebody who used to get like 60s, them send them to 2B or J or whatever letter. You can figure it out based on that. But first form, I would have been confused.
Yeah. No, why me I spend a little time
Yeah.
on this? It kind of confused me because when I was going to school, Francis,
It is different.
it was easy in my mind. Your grade would have put outside of your classroom, and you know whether you come first or 31st in the class. And Margaret, that you
You know what? Hold on a second, Jelly. Sorry to interrupt you, Jelly, but you know what? Something just clicked to me. Remember, no, I think you had left by then, probably. But I think it was third form, our streaming was changed to MHSJ.
Right. I remember that, Margaret, right. And,
For Meadowbrook High School, Jamaica, right?
yeah, I'm going to call
But
the
people
J. We have a
still
different name for the
assume
J.
that the M,
What Meadowbrook, yeah?
yes, right. But even remember, those letters are not in chronological order either, but we could still figure out what was
Yeah,
considered
exactly,
the
Margaret.
bright
Exactly the
class.
point. Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
So it's still,
I mean, I say, who
yeah,
am I trying?
I don't know how we figure it out, but I
No, man, you got no, man. You actually, I just say no, Meadowbrook High School of Jamaica. I did think say the JFA at the time was Jamal. That was that's what I think. I was in 5J. So I said to you, and you kind of get a feel, sir. It's like you're not in the.
can't put up a jelly.
That's what I repeat before,
Jamal.
Margaret.
I know, but you know.
No,
I thought you would have said Joker, but no, Jelly went with Jamal.
no,
Jamal. No, sir.
that's still
Not
about
many people
Francis.
know what that means, know what? No, Jamal.
You didn't know
That
me
not
I talk
about
about.
someone. Of course, we know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
all
This
right.
advertise on JIS.
Okay. No, it just I'm forgive me, Francis, because it's a different system completely. That's why I hear me ask so much question about it, and it's like, so was it confusing for you, or you just only just know?
It didn't really matter to us because we never really focused on it too much. We just focused on other things.
Yeah, I got you. It never, I got you. It's them I try. I don't know. As I said, Margaret, it sounds confusing to me, but I'm going to left it there because I leave that. That one is because
Yeah,
I think they were trying for. I know what them are trying though. I know what them trying for them, but human nature is a way. You're gonna know the difference, Margaret. Look, you try. I said people.
exactly.
Them are trying to make it look like everybody's the same, but that's we're not work that way there. We're all different. Now we have all different skills, and we go.
Correct.
Yeah. So
That's right. I agree.
so it's not a criticism or nothing, Francis. It's just a way them try to do it to make it look like say all of the students them are the same, and the rest of the students them know so everybody's not the same. Everybody's not the same.
Yeah.
Everybody's not the same. So who are some of the teachers that you remember now, Francis, that teach at Meadowbrook?
Well, as a history teacher, I Miss Schroeder. Um, remember her. Let's see, who else I remember? Miss Little, she taught biology. Yeah, it was a pretty boring class, even though I loved the subject. She,
Miss
wow.
Little was one of my teachers as well.
Okay. Oh, let's see, who else
Mm-hmm.
do I remember? Um, can't remember there was an art teacher who taught me how to drive. I
Mr.
can't remember
Osang,
his
Mr.
name.
Osang, Mr. Osang.
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
Hassan?
Hassan. Yes,
Yeah, man.
the best teacher ever.
We know him to Francis. So once it's a taught to drive, we know exactly where I talk. So yeah. Yeah.
Yes, he's like the best teacher ever, yo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And
Well, and
yeah, go ahead.
and there was another female teacher who taught art as well. I think she left before Mr. Hassan. I don't remember her name. She was pretty cool. And then in woodwork department, um, quite honestly, I don't remember the name of the guy in woodwork and metalwork. One of them was a dean of discipline at the time, and he was the head of the metalwork department. I think he died recently. I'm not sure. But for the teachers, you guys, the names, yeah, there was Miss Dennis. Um, but that's about it. What I
Mm-hmm.
can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if you can
I
remember
mean,
Francis, yeah, go ahead, finish up and then ask you another question.
I remember the history teacher because that was one subject I really enjoyed,
Yeah.
even though she was pretty strict. And there was Spanish, Miss Francis. I think she came from Cuba. Um, yeah. The only thing I remember from Spanish was Como te amo from her class. Everything else I learned online.
Yeah, you look better than me. I don't remember. No, maybe the only thing I remember is Uno or what time it is in
Un
Aspire.
momento, por favor.
Yeah.
¿Qué
Not
hora es?
not KORIS. That's the only thing I remember, Francis. Thank you. What that mean what time it is now? That's what it mean?
The time is.
Oh, okay.
What time is it?
Yeah, yeah. And if you remember good Francis, or if you can
Oh yeah, what
remember,
time it is?
how many students was at Meadowbrook at the time, if you remember right, if you could have guessed?
No idea.
Was it more girls than boys?
Of course, ratio of girls to boys is always high.
Mm-hmm. Like how much was it, if you remember, at your time?
Probably 2 or 3 to 1 girls to 1 guy.
Yeah, about the same. About the same when I got it was 412 orders, so it's 3 to 1. So yeah. So were you surprised at that?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I just happy to say more girls than boys.
Oh.
The ratio is pretty similar coming from primary school.
Oh really?
So I wasn't surprised.
At
Yeah,
Dunrobin?
I done Robin. And more girls than boys there.
Yeah, I wonder how that. No matter I think about it is, I think there's a reason why that is. In the case of Meadowbrook, where more girls end up at the school than boys.
No, Jelly, I think it is a good reflection of society because we always have more females than males in Jamaica. I don't know about the rest of the world, but definitely in Jamaica.
I mean, so wait, yes, more woman in Jamaica than man.
Yeah, I'd
Of
agree with
course.
that. There are some women killing each other more than women. Women are left about surviving. So naturally see more guys
And
with
not
more
just
than
that, you
one
have more
woman.
girls born. Yeah, man. You have more girls born than men, than guys
True.
normally.
Yeah.
I
In
never
the
know
birth
that.
rate, there are more females. Yeah.
I never
I
know
mean, in
that.
my family, I got 2 sisters,
Yeah, man.
and I'm the only son for my mom.
Okay, I got you. I never know that.
And in my family, it's 4 girls and 2 boys. It's very rare when you find a family that have more males than females.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. You see, I would think,
Everybody wants to have a son.
yeah, I would think say there was a whole heap more all boys school and all girls school, if my memory serves me right. So I could have said where even a co-ed school, they have to find more space for the girls them because the girls them needed more space because you had less all girls school. See what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's all girls school. I mean, compared to the amount of
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, in
Let's
the
go check
corporate
that.
area,
Go check that out. I'm not so sure about that.
no, that's yeah, it's a curiosity. I wasn't aware of that, Margaret, that day. There's a disproportionate amount. Let's not say there's more females than males in the Jamaican population. I wasn't aware of that either. Wasn't aware of that. That's a something way. But so Francis, give me some fun memories you remember about Meadowbrook, apart from the water war. What do you think about you remember
sports
Meadowbrook more
day.
the most? Yeah.
Sports day, those are fun memories. Yeah, Pekka,
No.
the three-wheel vehicle always I sell like in the lunches like we'd pack up Pekka more than the canteen
Yeah,
because his food was well cooked and cheaper and taste good.
yeah, Pekka is an institution. Pekka was there when we did fight for Pekka come in at the school and we did that. So Pekka was
Mm-hmm.
yeah
Yeah,
man. Yeah, yeah. Them the one Pekka was
man.
originally outside in Francis, outside of the gate.
Yeah,
Yeah man.
okay.
And after
And then
we
come in.
no after them build a wall at the school and them the one they want to prevent the student from going outside for go see Pekka. Before you could just stretch over the fence, there was no wall. You just go to the gate and you buy from Pekka. You go over the fence. Pekka right at the gate right there. So. And then they build a wall now. And they want to suffer from West Pekka. And then there was a revolt at the school where we locked down the canteen and all them things. And but in the negotiation now, Pekka getting a spot inside of the school beside the canteen. It's where you come and see him.
Yeah, and then after that they moved go down by the ball field. And that's where I remember seeing him now. Because initially when I came in first farm,
Yeah,
him used to be by the canteen. And then third farm going forward, he moved by the ball field because there's more space there for the students. Like by the canteen, it was like too crowded, and people used to fight and bungle up to get through to him. And I remember after I decided, to say, you know what, I'm gonna start by Pekka because it was cheaper. Because first farm, I used to go canteen, and I never liked the food, you know, it never cooked good. Sometimes chicken still red. So like, this not look too right. So I start by Pekka.
mm-hmm.
I used to like as soon as lunchtime hit, I would run go out of the bar field and wait. Because if you reach late, you know,
Yeah,
all the good food gone. Because like you get curry chicken back and fried dumpling like $20. And I could have hold it till going on time.
yeah. I used to buy the ball field up at the top field there, attack
And if
Francis.
you buy about $50, you get a nice back food. I'm on the top ball field. Not the bottom, on the bottom.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I used to use that
which
for
part of the
sports
top
day.
field near the house at the school? Or which part them put him?
No, I'm near the metalwork department. I used to come near the metalwork
Oh,
department,
okay,
the
I got you. Near the parking
back
lot
part
at
of
the
it.
front. Yes, yes, yes. I know your attack. I know your attack. I try to visualize it.
No, not at the front, you know, like you pass the parking lot and you go right round on the ball field itself.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I got you. I trying to a
Yeah.
long time ago up I trying to visualize it. So yeah. So I didn't even know that. Tell
And
them who pick a
and
from.
then
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah man, I went school over, they used to bring the film little vehicle up by the church. They
Which
used to go up there and buy food for me in the evening too. I think on the
which
park.
church at?
Meadowbrook Church, we used to go up
Beside the prep school.
that side. Yeah, beside the prep school, right up there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Pekka was an institution at the school, man. Them. I think in past recently to Francis, yeah, Pekka, he was honored at the school because Pekka is a Meadowbrook institution. Him there for so
Yeah,
long.
he's an icon.
Yeah, man. I try and remember. I try and forget the date when Pekka actually start come on Meadowbrook. I don't get that tied down yet, but I need somebody. It's in the late 60s or early 70s Pekka start. I need that exact date when
A
Pekka.
long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We go to school in 74 and Pekka was there. Pekka was there. My brother started in 1972, and I think Pekka was. I'm going to go see Pekka too. There's some time before that, but I can't pin on the exact date yet. So yeah, yeah. So what Pekka menu was at the time then? Now, we know when the one of the favorites was callaloo and bun. Pekka still sell that.
No man, mainly fried chicken and curry chicken. And yeah, them are the two mainstay with fry and curry chicken.
Oh,
Curry chicken back.
pick a upgrade to food, cook food.
And yeah man, cook food, yes.
Right?
And you have to you'd have to request vegetable the day before you get know when you come.
Yeah, go ahead, Margaret, so I get us something.
No, man, I was just agreeing with you, so take a step up.
Yeah, because yeah, Francis, because when we go a bun and cheese and bread and cheese, callaloo and bread, bun and callaloo, fritters. May I give the menu them as I remember them. You see me I said to you? And Margaret, do you remember any
Yeah.
of that? You used to buy from Pekka. Our girls, I just said never buy from Pekka.
No, man, girls used to buy, but I never used to buy from Pekka. And them used to have Sky Juice.
Yeah, Sky was the main thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that
Yeah.
is like the main thing you used to sell a pep up when pep up just hit the market.
And Pepper
$10 feet.
Power Francis, never hear that name there before.
It's a mini box juice. And like I have the big Joe box juice, the pep up is a small version to that.
Oh, so Miss Top sell Sky Juice?
No, you did have Sky Juice same way. But then you have pep up. And that used to sell crazy. Kind of $10 for pep up.
Yeah.
Sports Day that used to
They laugh, yeah.
sell like hot cake.
Yeah. So a Pekka one used to sell them to get help by that time. Like when we expand to the cook food, you know. You have anybody help him?
No man, you never nobody help him. Him one same one.
Pekka. Yo, Margaret, Pekka skillful. That's all I know.
Right?
Yeah. Pekka upgrade. I will heap of work that, you know. I will heap of work him come in.
Mm-hmm.
And if we still have the 3-wheel card, Francis, or that the upgrade after a while.
I still have the tuk-tuk.
Yo, that's something else.
I think the last time
Eh?
I remember, he had probably painted it. I think last time I remember they painted it with Meadowbrook colors. I'm not sure, but that's what I think. I just remember with the crest and all them thing there.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I wish I could see that. Right?
Yeah, if you get a picture of that, you know, Francis, and that's your field, Miss. So I never have a picture of that. That would be something. That's something to ride.
That picture, I didn't have a camera them days.
Right. No, because camera, and like no camera up on every cell phone and everything and all. So yeah. I'm going to talk about
Well,
that.
we're putting it out there, and if anybody have a picture of Pekka Tuk Tuk, as them call it, with the Meadowbrook crest and the colors, we would love to see it. Please post it somewhere and tag MHS.
Yeah, man, I love to see that tomorrow.
Or Meadowbrook, or whoever you know from Meadowbrook.
I would love to see that too. The Pekka. So Francis, let me ask you a question. You know, what the most embarrassing moment you can remember? I look back on, I go to Meadowbrook, and look back on with a smile.
Most embarrassing moment.
Why,
you know, so them moments are black out of my head still. Embarrassing for a reason.
Oh, you block them out. Okay, I hear you.
Embarrassing for a reason. Block them out of my head. Don't want to remember.
That's why I say with a smile, Francis. If you block it out, there's no smile to them at all. Yeah. So what was sports day like in your time, Francis? Was it competitive? Was it crowded? Did you only pass school? What was describe sports day for us?
Sports day in my time was well, what I remember, I would go, stay with crowd. I didn't really business about the activities that were going on in sports day because I didn't really participate in it. I just came for the food to chill with my friends and just back and forth and chilling. It wasn't really to go and cheer for anybody. It was basically a gathering to just de-stress and have fun and then just head home.
So was it crowded? Was a whole heap of people from other...
Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead, Margaret. Sorry.
Okay, so What I am finding is, Jelly, what I'm noticing is that it's like the connectivity watered down a lot with progressive generations. I'm not sure if it's because of technology or whatever the reason, but I find it so weird that we, at our age, people in our 50s and 60s and 40s are so connected still, and the 2000s, not so much. Not so much. It's they might have a little small group, but not on the same level. Not the same level of connectivity. But that is just my experience. I don't know otherwise, but from what I have seen so far, it feels very different. Even sports day. Remember how competitive we were, Jelly?
Yeah, that's why I asked Francis about it. That's why I asked my question away there.
Yeah.
Sports have a way for it, man. And even other sporting activity at Meadowbrook at the time, Francis, it wasn't a big thing then. Like money
Oh,
cup
not for
match.
me, not for my. It wasn't really much of a big thing for me and my friends because we just went to chill and to just connect. Yeah, we probably one or two things, but the competitiveness was ice dead short when they had all the points and stuff for the houses and everything there to say, oh, the top house was Ratney or Ward or this or that. Yeah, that was our competitiveness. But sports day, meh.
Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So what stand out to you,
So Jelly, it looks like the art.
Yeah, go ahead, Margaret.
It looks like the arts took over instead of the sports. Because remember,
Right.
Miss,
Mrs. Law.
what's her name, Hyacinth. Remember, she was talking. No, Hyacinth was
Oh,
talking
Miss
about the I
Johnson.
Step for Dada Day,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
was
Yeah.
yeah, and it was mostly about art, like drama and poet, whatever else,
Yeah, yeah,
arts.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
gotcha.
they talk
Okay.
about that.
interesting.
They talk about that. Sports was almost like it put in the background, on the back
Mhm.
burner with certain things. So yeah. And that might explain why the vibes
Mhm.
kind of different.
Okay.
That might explain why the vibes kind of more
Yeah.
low keyed.
Yeah.
Because this was before internet and everything
Right.
come in, because internet, we never have internet until the turn of the century, which is when Francis had leave school. So we can't
We,
blame
Right.
internet for Francis' time at all. It was just a different thing completely.
boy, I wish I had YouTube back in my time. I'd excel so much in the subjects then.
But, but we never have nothing, Francis. You talk about YouTube, we never have nothing. We worse.
Yo, back in them time, I wish I had an Encyclopedia Britannica. I see it and I'm like, yeah, I want that. And then after a while, I'm like, I got Encarta, which is, is the disc with all the stuff like that.
We
And then
call
the
that,
books I
Francis?
used to use
Sorry.
was
I didn't know. We call that?
Encarta, a digital encyclopedia. You'd get it on discs. You just drop it in the computer and it's like, just like the Encyclopedia Britannica, where you have A to Z and this and that, you have the Encarta with the various discs that have the various parts you go into. But after a while, I just went straight to tell me why to learn a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that was
Okay.
Yeah,
like, I never know about that. So you have access then, but you have to have a computer and you just put the disc in.
yeah, man. Encarta digital encyclopedia, and then some of my friends them would know how to get the pirated version.
Because you have to buy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Them days everything basically free. If you want to find the information, it is there for you to get it. Anything you want. So let me ask you
no,
something.
actually, no.
Yeah, go
Them
ahead.
days you actually spend more money to get the information.
I mean,
It
you mean
wasn't
today?
all that free. No, them days when I was coming up like 2000s, you have to spend more money on information,
You understand? I'm
and it
agreeing with
wasn't
you.
all that
I'm
free.
agreeing with you, Francis. I'm not talking about today compared to today to even your time and our time before.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No
Today
man,
it's at your fingertips.
no man, information we had to pay a whole heap. The library never have all information we need. And it was tougher for we in terms of access to information. It wasn't as easy for you
Yeah,
because most of the information wasn't online like it is now. We can't get anything we want at the click of a phone and you search and
that's
look.
true.
So, but the question I ask you then, right? With all the access to information now, you think say education or learning should be easier than it was in your time or even our time?
Well, there's more distractions this time than our time.
When
Our
it,
time we had less distractions compared to now.
you have to focus more. So
Yeah,
we really have to
because
then, we have more information, but it come with a cost with more distraction.
because I mean you got TikTok, Snapchat, and all them other stuff that what grabs your attention.
Mm.
Like the latest thing YouTube and Snapchat has and Instagram is Reels, which is like 2 minute, 1 minute videos, and they are addictive.
Yeah, man.
If you're not focused in what you want to do, you find yourself spending the whole night watching these reels and don't get not a scratch of what you're doing.
That is so true. And them know what you want to watch though.
Oh, oh
Them know what you
Yeah,
want.
my God. Right, right.
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, Margaret.
You know what? Thank you for that, Francis, because I knew that was the case, but to verbalize it like that makes so much sense because I have grandchildren who are in school and they're very bright, but there's one that sometimes doesn't do too well. And when you think about it, that's exactly what it is, the distractions. Because even me as an adult, going online, going to Google something, and a little pop-up come up with something attractive. And the next thing you know, I'm in down that rabbit hole and gone all over the place. So to think about young children dealing with this kind of stuff, it's difficult. I didn't even think about it like that before. So thank you for that. You just give me some clarity.
Yeah, man. And
yeah,
them push out information to you. You didn't realize it's like a drug them are feeding, you know.
yeah. Because this thing with Google,
Yeah, man,
if you
you're
search
right.
for a particular item, like you want to look for watches, it uses an ad search tool that picks up particular keywords. So you type in watch or you type in a brand for the watch, and you find yourself you're bombarded with these ads for that. And you go on Facebook or YouTube or stuff like that, the one thing that you search for.
Yeah,
So what I realized is that you have certain search engines that you can use that block this because Google uses AdSense to make money, to generate income. It's basically a seller says, I want to promote this item, but I don't know the source to reach. So Google says, all right, we just put in a particular keyword that pulls them to your channel and we handle everything else from there. But there's certain sites like DuckDuckGo, you have Proton browser, you even have Opera browser that blocks all of these. So if you want to just do one focus search, you can do that without worrying you'll be bombarded with all these ads and push notifications. Say, hey, check this out, check that out. You can be more focused.
yeah, yeah. But it can fix, but it gotta take somebody or people must take in my mind, they must sell our information to the companies them. And we not get the money for it. Cause them know them for
Yeah, but
advertise.
Jelly,
Yeah.
but guess what? We get something for it.
What will I get?
We get information. So it's a trade-off. We get the information, it's a trade-off. The information is not free. We pay for the information with the ads that they sell to other people. It's not free. It look like it's free on the surface, but it's not.
No, not free. I know it's not free, Margaret. But you see, my
No, man. Not at all.
my solution to it, me I thinking is like the information because them actually have all them know what we like and don't like, and them selling that information without our permission, Margaret. And me I say it needs to put in place where we own our information. And if a man want sell nothing to you, it's almost like when them it's
Yeah,
like
but if
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but if that happens, Jelly, they're going to start charging for us to use that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah,
Like Google, if the situation come about where we actually own our information
yeah,
and we have to give, because them do a little fake thing about you have on the small print where you actually give permission to use the information. But that is some kind of trickery as well. But what I'm saying is if it come to, if what you want to say, you own it and you can sell it to somebody or whatever,
yeah,
something like that,
yeah. Some I think on it,
them
Mark.
are gonna start tightening up their information that they're giving. Them not gonna just give them information for free for nothing at all.
Well, I just
Well,
said it not.
So now that we can just jump on and Google and search something quick, if they can't sell our information,
You don't think we'll get all
them
them
not gonna give us
information there?
that kind of access. No man, we not get that kind of access. That's the trade-off. They make
well, you
money,
know,
but they give you free information.
Yeah, go ahead, Francis. Me or
And
say.
I'm saying free in quotation marks.
Right.
true, but with the advance in AI, everything will change. I mean, yeah, you can get this, you can get that. If it's a if it's a state where you okay, when you get control of the information, they'll figure out another way to make money off of that. Okay, so you want control of the information, no problem. Pay us a fee, and nobody else but you will access it. Simple as that.
Right.
Right. Right.
Right. Right. That's. I mean, it. I get to that, because it's quicker than we think, because AI is here, whether we believe it or not, and 1,000 new AI being created every month. There's not like the one where you see them advertise, the chat GTP
Yeah,
or whatever.
chat GTP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
a whole
day.
heap of that you have.
And the AI are going to replace a whole heap of things. Unless we get focused. And it's hard. It is very difficult because you didn't realize that man manipulate you and distract you with certain things, with information. And we are adults, much less your children and your grandchildren, them, Margaret. All them are going to know. You see what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
The AI make it,
Mm-hmm.
the AI going to make it more challenging. Like whatever technology will come out, is an opportunity, but stuff got changed in terms of how. And I don't know the changing are going to turn out. I don't know.
You
We know the big
you already have companies. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, man.
I was saying you already have companies that give you services if you want to have your information completely wiped off the net. Companies offer that service for you. They'll give you like a trial period and
Yeah,
they'll wipe it.
yeah,
But if you want anybody else, like your family member and stuff like that, or if you want to go further, like on the dark web, hey, give us a fee.
yeah,
All them stuff there.
yeah.
So these companies are really in existence.
As I said ahead, people are cleaning up yeah. I see what I did. So when you talk about Meadowbrook, Francis, did they have fete? We used to have a whole heap of fete at Meadowbrook. Or
Yeah, man.
barbecue. What was that like?
Yeah, we used to have a barbecue. I mean, first one I went to, I found out Red Rat was a former Meadowbrook student. I'm like, what? Meadowbrook barbecue and anything there? And he used to and he started promoting it. Like, yeah, man, me I head there. Went to that fete, and one of my sister's classmates, I think she was like a year below me or 2 years below me.
Oh, your sister
She
went to
performed at
Meadowbrook
the
as well?
fete. Yeah, man, my sister went to Meadowbrook too.
Oh, after you?
Yeah, man, after me.
Okay. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, man. And then that friend of my sister is like, she went on. It's like she and two other girls as the perform on stage. They sang a Destiny's Child. I think it was Bugaboo, one of that. But it was like a lip sync,
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was really good because they performed it very good and the crowd loved it. I was like, this was pretty dope, yo.
And we are the fete held, Francis, at the school?
At the school, top ball field.
Yeah, okay. Oh, so they put
Yeah,
a
man.
stage on the ball field. Oh, that's the setup.
Yeah, man, them put a stage near the end. How should I describe it now? All right, so it's the bottom going on to the right near the mango tree. The stage was set up near that side, near that wall.
Oh, towards the back where the road run beside the school.
Yeah.
Springburn Avenue,
It
yeah.
was that side there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
man.
I
Yeah,
never know.
man. And of course, with the fete and stuff, you have the vendors them outside selling all kind of stuff.
I mean,
And then
outside
you
of the
had some
wall.
people outside of the wall. You
Yeah,
buy a juice and is them as cigarettes I sell and like I discovered a lot of students smoked that day, which I see that night.
yeah,
I'm like, pretty interesting.
yeah. And what farm you
Yeah.
were in at the time, the first that you got to?
I had a second or third phone.
Okay, okay, okay. And
Yeah.
what was that experience like? Fetching of them days I met. What was that experience like?
It was pretty decent. I mean, I went and I met up with my friend and we just chilled and we met up with a couple other girls and we just prayed and see who came in with who, what the performances was like. We get our food and we sit down and then after it was over, mom come and pick me up. So I think I went, did I go with my sister? No, I don't remember if my sister came. I know I definitely went. It was a nice experience.
Yeah, I would sing around the place sometime there. I'd have fed them, Francis. Maybe get an idea of the era where that. What song was popular, if you remember?
You know the song by Reverend? That girl Shelly Ann, go on like she better
Yeah,
know
yeah,
one bag of man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Margaret, remember that song there?
First, listen, let me tell you something. A couple of years ago, the alumni association down there, from that same era with Red Rat from in early 2000s. Red Rat was one of the performers. He came and he performed, and my little granddaughter fall in love with Red Rat and the song. Never hear that in our life, you know. You want to hear her sing it now?
Yeah, I am just sing that song there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Him
Yeah,
singing it.
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember because I know the 80s him go school, Margaret. Later, little later after we leave.
No, man. No, not the 80s, man. 90s, I
90s,
The
think,
early
or
90s, the
90s.
early
early.
90s
Yeah, I
before
think in
Francis.
the
Yeah.
90s.
I never,
90s.
you never go school go see him, Francis.
Yeah.
No, man. I never got school with him. I didn't
Mm-mm.
even know that. I didn't even know he went to Meadowbrook.
Yeah, yeah. Me aware of
I
that.
mean, he sang it. He made mention of it in one of his songs.
Mention our Meadowbrook.
Of Meadowbrook, yeah.
Oh, really?
In one of his songs.
I never even know that.
Yeah, man. It's like, I don't remember the name of the song, but it's like, one of the
I
lyrics
didn't
like,
know that.
when you get Meadowbrook, I be a pretty girl, you gotta look prairie. The girl that look good, you see, campion. All of
Wow, I never know that. I was aware him to go Meadowbrook though. I did aware right to him go Meadowbrook at the time. The after me leave in the 90s. So yeah. I think somebody come on and said them related to him on the podcast, Margaret. I don't remember who. Or them know him. I can't remember who.
Okay.
I don't remember. I'd have to listen. I'd have to go listen. If it come back to me, I will make. I'm gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the fact them was a good thing then, Francis, in terms of like, you think that was a good thing the school when the fact them put on. Or it make you feel you go to fit them. A nice vibes.
Yeah, it was a good vibes. It was a good vibes.
Okay. I got you.
But them were good vibes.
So let me ask you something. Now. When you transition, when you leave Meadowbrook in 2000, you had any idea what you
Yeah.
wanted to do with your life when you left Meadowbrook? Did Meadowbrook prepare you for life? And put it that way there.
Nope. Didn't know what I wanted to do in life. And funny enough, when I was at Meadowbrook, I was in the photography club.
Okay.
Didn't have a camera, but the head of the club was she was a she had the geography department, also my geography teacher, whose name I can't remember right now, but went on every geo field trip I could get to go on. And those days I really wish I had a camera, a
Yeah.
good working camera.
Yeah.
As my mama gave me a Kodak camera that used the 110 film. And couldn't do anything with that. But I still have it to this day, though,
Yeah.
in mint condition.
And as you talk about that, Francis, were there yearbooks? Did Meadowbrook produce yearbook anytime you were there? Like a school yearbook?
Yeah, yeah, it did. I mean, I have the yearbook for when I left. I still have it.
Oh, really?
Oh, you
Uh-huh.
do,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to scan it if you can. I send
Francis?
it to me and Margaret, yes. Because we put together a collection
That's right.
all of the yearbook them. We try have them in a one place. So Margaret have most of them. All one of them have and she have more. So yeah. So that's the 1 year you have, Francis.
And just 1 year I could get my hands on.
Oh, and if you know anybody in your year, when you hear this, when your conversation come, they can tell a friend. If you get access to any other yearbook while you're there, let them so you can scan it or get it to us digitally.
That's what I can do. Probably just take pictures and send it to your WhatsApp so you can cover it.
Yeah, man. There's an app where you can just, most of them are up on my phone. Me take it, just take it and
Yeah,
save it on the phone.
probably can scan it on the Pixel. That's all we can do, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's all we can do.
Yeah, man. It's better than would have no access to it at all. So yeah. Until we can get
Yeah.
access to it, so certainly no.
I just used my scanner on my phone this morning and redo the 86 book because the one that we have a lot of, because you use the camera and take the pictures, so might
Yeah.
have some glare. I just redid it this morning. So send it to you, Jelly.
How did it on your computer?
Waiting until I get the other three, and I did one up on my phone.
Up on your phone,
I have a
okay.
scanner up on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the iPhones come with a built-in scanner.
Oh, send it to me. It's supposed to look better than when me take a picture me I take in terms of say. Yeah, send it to me, Margaret. As soon as you done it, me see it. Yeah. Yes,
All right.
yes, so Francis, you didn't even know, say you have a passion for photography while you were at school.
Yeah, actually, I always love photography. Well, my mom, she told me she used to do photography, and so she gave me the camera. And like I took up a practice shot with that film. The film was never developed. I would just re-roll the film and take pictures over it, so that got corrupted.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
You just take the picture and just crank it back, like but like you're gonna just chick and just press the trigger.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And then I remember I bought when I look at disposable cameras up by Discount Center. It's like the world's smallest camera that uses a 110mm film. I'm like, cool. It was just like a toy for me. Never really developed that either. But it was interesting is that you fold it right out and you put the film canister on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you finish, you fold the camera back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where you left Meadowbrook? Where you went to? You say you went to which school you went to after you left Meadowbrook when you graduated?
Well, when I graduated in Meadowbrook, I went to pre-UWI to get a couple subjects.
Went
I
to
didn't get
where?
maths, pre-UWI, pre-university, Taylor
Okay.
Hall. Yeah.
How that go?
So
Where is that? I mean, we never heard that term there before. Which part that is key part?
it's on UWI campus, Taylor Hall.
Oh, them call
Right.
it pre-U. I never even know about that at all.
Yeah, pre-university, Taylor Hall. You can go back and get subjects. So I went and I did biology for the GCE. Principles of business, accounting, and maths.
So
Those I got biology and principles of business.
you have to pay for that out of your own pocket, Francis.
Mom and dad helped me.
Yeah, man, that's what I mean. You are your parents have to pay for it. That's what I mean, yeah. Not necessarily yours, yeah. Okay.
Then after that, I went to Maths Unlimited and I got English.
And that's something similar to pre-UWI?
Yeah, that's another institution you can go and 6 subjects. Matter of fact, Maths Unlimited had a 6th form. If you finish high school, you just wanted to go 6th form and focus on other subjects, you could go there.
Oh, very interesting. Maybe I know all them things available there now. Yeah.
Yeah. And during Maths Unlimited, that's where I
So
got my
Francis,
first. Yeah.
okay.
All right. So
No,
during
go
Maths
ahead. Go
Unlimited is where
ahead.
I got my first smartphone. Yeah, my first Windows phone actually. It was a Motorola MPX 220. And the camera on that was at the time 1.3 megapixels. It was amazing. But unfortunately, I lost the pictures taken on that phone.
Yeah. Yeah, Margaret, it sounds like you had a question for Francis.
I do.
Go ahead.
So Francis, how did you end up at Edna?
Edna. All right.
You heard me, Francis? Uh-huh.
And for the record,
So,
you talk about Edna Man, the School of Arts, Margaret.
yep.
Yeah, man, yeah.
School of the Visual
Correct,
and
yeah.
Performing Arts. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, before Edna, I went to UTech to do business because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So, mom said, "Hey, you went to business." All right. Went and did. Spent like 3 years. Took leave of absence because my two other sisters were in college at the time. Both of them were at Edna Manley. This was in 2009, 2010. And when I took my leave of absence and I came back, they said, oh, because I took too long, like 3 years, I needed to start back the course from scratch. Before UTech, I went to Case. I spent 1 year there, College of Agriculture, Science and Education. I realized that was not for me because everything they were teaching me I already knew. And to me, it didn't make any sense. So first Case, UTech, and then my mom realized that I am very artistic because I always use feathers to make jewelry. See, my dad used to wear birds, peacocks, pheasants, guinea chicks, geese, ducks, and I used to go and collect the feathers and clean them. And I used to just create jewelry with it, earrings, pendants, fascinators, um, all kind of stuff like that. I used to give them as gifts to my friends. Yeah, I had lots of female friends, still do. So I realized instead of buying them gifts for birthdays and Christmas, it'd be better for me to make these gifts, something that they love and appreciate and much easier on the pocket.
Mm.
So after that, mom said, you're artistic. I always send you Edna Manley so you can export on your jewelry making skill. I'm like, cool. So to me, I think it was full circle because at Meadowbrook, I used to go on the field trips to Edna Manley. Even though I didn't do art after first form, I was still interested in the field trips. And I was fascinated by what I saw there with the paintings, especially. But I'm not a painter, but I love the vibrant colors that they use. And this is partly how photography became more appealing to me. And jewelry as well, because with the feathers now, I could use the natural colors produced in nature and make certain combinations, the tensile strengths and the flexibility of the feathers. I could flex and bend them without breaking them, figure out how to cut and shape them. As I love knives. I still collect knives. I used to use the blades and just curve it to give them a nice little twirl, or just cut the feathers, split them in the middle, come all the way down, which is kind of tricky because you need a steady hand and a razor sharp blade to do that. And then I used to like get two different feathers, like a peacock feather and like a duck or geese feather, but pretty similar in comparison. And split them in half and then join two different feathers together and use that to make other creations, which was pretty cool. So it looked like one feather with two different sides, which was awesome. And when I started Edna, my sister, she was like working at the time because she had graduated after. She was working in admin. She's now a lecturer there. She lectures in
And
fiber
that's the sister who
textiles.
went to Meadowbrook, Francis?
Yeah. That's my sister who went to Meadowbrook.
Call her name, man. What's her name?
Katrina. Katrina Coombs.
Katrina Coombs. Okay. And that's the one sister you went to
Yeah.
Meadowbrook with you?
Yeah, the other one went to Queens, but she also went to Manley. She did music there.
Okay, all right. Continue. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I started Manley, it's like them just fling us in a foundation, you know? You gotta do everything. You gotta drawing, you're gonna rotate in all the various departments, but you're gonna choose like 3 different departments to rotate in, so you can focus on what you want to do. So my rotation included photography, ceramics, and jewelry. And I ended up, I love photography. Still have some of the pictures I took in that rotation. Ceramics was pretty interesting. Super Sad was my lecturer. Very talented guy. And then in jewelry, don't remember the name of the jewelry teacher who taught me. Carol, don't remember her last name. But after that rotation, I just focused on the jewelry. But even though I focused on the jewelry, I still went over to ceramics. Sometime I did a elective in ceramics, which was pretty cool, which made me realize like, nah, I'm going to stick to jewelry because ceramics is a bit more tricky working with the clay. Taught me that you can't mix wet and dry clay together. You're going to get crappy results. So after that, I was in between jewelry, printmaking, and photography. I used to liaison with Miss Zaka. She was the head of the photography department at the time. I used to get her opinions on the pictures that I took because I was always taking pictures with my phones. She's always giving me tips and tricks and always approving of my work, which gave me lots of encouragement. And she has a photography club that meets up, I think, every first Tuesday each month. But yeah, Edna Manley was a journey. It was a really cool journey.
Francis, I listened to you, carefully because
Francis?
yeah, go ahead, Margaret. Before
Yeah.
I have a challenge for Francis, but go ahead, Margaret.
No, you go first, Jelly.
Because this is my challenge to you, Margaret.
Okay.
Sorry, this is my challenge to you, Francis.
Francis.
Yeah, you go first, Margaret,
Uh-huh.
and then I go. You go first.
All right. So listening to you, I feel an affinity with you because I didn't realize how creative I actually am. I always knew I could write. And I, dabble around with the writing until I got a job where I was actually a writer. But I find that I love the same things that you love, the vibrant colors. I started making jewelry a couple of years ago with beads, and it had to be very vibrant beads, not just the clay ones, but the glass beads and the semi-precious stones and that kind of stuff. I started making bracelets and necklaces and earrings, but I didn't do it on a large scale. So I was only giving it to friends, just like how you started. And taking the pictures started by me walking and noticing some tiny wildflowers and just enlarging them and taking pictures as well. But what I am thinking now, you went on this long journey, education-wise, to finally find your place, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that was missed while you were in high school? It is something that was missed by the art department.
I think it's not only by the art department, but the educators on a whole. Because in high school, one thing I used to do besides art, I was an entrepreneur. A couple of my friends, they would go overseas in the summer and they'd come back with trading cards, X-Men, and later when Pokemon started to become popular, Pokemon trading cards. They would give me the extra cards and I'd go around and sell them, make a profit. So we'd agree on a price. Say, I sell this card, you get $40 and I take whatever else. No problem. Sometimes I sell a card for $100. That entrepreneurial mentality, I took that with Edna because I realized that art materials are expensive, hard to come by, and the students don't know where to get them. Being the explorative person I am, I always wanted to find stuff cheaper, and I go to the source. So I said, my parents helped me pay for the tuition. Kind of hard to give me lunch money and stuff like that. Started out selling paper. This is the cheapest thing I could get, cartridge paper that is. And then eventually it began to expand to all kind of art materials because I figured out what to get, where to get, how to get it, and sell it cheaper and still make a profit than the competition. Turns out stationery stores sell art supplies too at a fraction of the price than actual art stores. Like screen art supplies, you go there with $4,000, God bless what you come out with. You go to Kingston bookshop with $4,000, you come out with a trailer load of stuff depending on what you want. So I would use that, and trust me, that saw me through Edna. It almost got in my way of my studies until I had to delegate some of the items to a couple of the students, have them sell stuff for me, and give them a cut out of it. So, in regards to your question with Meadowbrook, they at the time they could have looked on other ways to see what were the strengths and the weaknesses of the students and have them expound on the strengths and at the same time work on those weaknesses, because all they did was they just fling the subject matter at you. And if you don't understand it, you need to go in a remedial class or pay extra money to come for extra lessons and this, that, or the other.
And that is not a Meadowbrook problem alone, Francis. That is all schools.
Right.
All schools do that.
Yeah.
Right.
One thing with,
and let me tell you why I asked that question, Francis.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Francis.
I saying one thing I like with my photography teacher, Miss Zaka, is that when you do something in our class, she look on you and like, so what made you decide to do this? What got your interest into doing that? She don't say, don't do this, do that. She's trying to find out what made you want to do this and trying to figure out, okay, so what would be the results if you did that instead? Give you options to try and get you to learn. Which I find is a really good approach. And I said about using the student, I said, don't do this, find out what made them go and do that. And try to sit down with them and explore other routes that would work with them to get the results that is needed.
It's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, go ahead,
I went to visit Edna Manley the other day. 2 more questions, Jelly, and then I'm done.
No.
I went to
I want to
visit
finish
Edna
up,
Manley the other day,
and when I walked, but go ahead.
All right. So when I walked into the visual arts department, and I went up to where they did the clothing, where they made material and that kind of stuff, and I saw the girls painting and all of that kind of stuff. And when I walked into that department, I felt a sense of excitement and peace simultaneously, like you're home. And something happened in my head. I'm like, oh my God, this is where I should have been. All this college and doing business classes and doing master's degree and all of that was ridiculous. This is what I should have been doing.
Textiles.
But nobody was there to guide me there, and I didn't know. Not just textiles, but photography mainly, and painting. I have never painted in my life, but it is something that has drawn me. Do you know what I'm saying? So at this age is when it's clicking to me that art is where I should have been, not doing all those business stuff. But I have another question for you. How did your sister get there? Because she got there before you, right?
Yeah, she was more focused in art, coming out of Meadowbrook. Um, she did it, I think she did it in 60, I'm not sure. But she went into Edna Manley at the same time I was at UTech, which was in 2009, 2010. Um, and she did painting,
So she left
drawing.
Meadowbrook and went straight to Edna Manley?
No, I think she took a year off and then she went to Edna.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So she found her way really quick. Okay, nice. Okay, go ahead, Jelly. Go with your challenge.
Now, my challenge is, I make a comment before my challenge, because to understand, I don't think the teacher miss the record or them never see no talent a certain way. But look on me, I run off my mouth now for over 18 months, and when people hear me talk, they must say, Jelly, you go to school for that. I say, no, I just talk me talk. It's me as a Margaret, and me just start this out of nothing, Francis. Margaret know,
Yeah.
everybody know. Out of me, just
Yeah.
like you, Francis. I say, I go just come talk to my friend them on the chat. And it's a different way, as you see, it's a different way me do the conversation. That's why I don't call it interview or podcast. I just make it flow. Right? So it's not so the school miss it, you know. Sometimes you yourself miss it, and the time and the technology not available for say the opportunity where
Of course.
you can do certain things.
That's right.
So me I said to you, Francis, and
Mm-hmm.
most of the pictures them all of the pictures them will come out here now. Since me start put pictures of people them. And Margaret me send them to. And Margaret fix them up for me and do them. Because me not take the whole day for do it. That was not my wheel set. My wheel set I right with me there and I go put all the challenge to you now for talk. And when me are interesting thing, me I say, hold on. And this is the challenge to the two now. And Margaret hear the conversation there before, Francis, but you never hear it. But you go to Meadowbrook, I never hear the history of Meadowbrook. You know, I'm not a Red Rat used to go to school. A Red Rat far more popular than me, right? So they would not know my name at all until I started running off my mouth about my cricket team and my sports team, right? This is the challenge to the two now. We talked about this before. And you have an entrepreneurial mind, and I want your Margaret coordinate this and put it together. That challenge too, no? How we could have set up a Meadowbrook wall of fame, a digital wall of fame, a Meadowbrook. Right at the front where them have the fight where they had the school, and one of the assembly hall, where all of the great achievement in my Meadowbrook for the past 65 years is on that wall of fame, a wall of fame. And it continually rotates. So students are walking can stop and say a particular history in Meadowbrook. Where you never know about at all, Francis, because you go there and there's no history at all at the school. You see me I say to you, more use your creative mind, you know.
That's true.
You're the challenge me I give you. How think about it. And where is it a cost to do? And then we could try to put it together. Because I think we need a digital wall of fame at the school. Right where the fight was the other day, that famous non-fight, my name not bring it up. And then that's when a student walk in at the school, it's a glow. And him stop and him look so right, I never know somebody look do that. Him going to the assembly hall for assembly, I don't know, him keeping the assembly hall still. It can be one, you know, but I just have visualized, I'm just telling them a vision, just have visualized too, Francis and Margaret. And it constantly a circle. So
That's a good idea.
There's no limit as them. Margaret post one of them this man. I look on Instagram page when he sent it to me. I said, right, I was blown away by the quality of the pictures that I take. You see me I said to you, so I know say you have a, and you talk about, what you say, you talk about the feathers them for the bird them. Where you get the bird feather them from? Where you get them from?
My dad used to keep birds and I used to help him look after them.
Oh,
So when they shed the feathers, when he shed the feathers, I just collect them and clean them up.
Oh, so he was keeping birds just for that alone?
No, when he was growing up, he must
No, man, they must have.
look after birds.
Bird, no, right. Okay, so, okay, it's not like you keep the bird just for that commercial thing. It's like you say, that was a byproduct then. You just love birds.
Yeah, it's a byproduct.
Yeah,
Because the feathers them used to get discarded and thrown away and clean up and I'm like, but these are pretty. I must can't find use for them.
Yeah, man. I love your
And
mind.
coming out of that,
I,
yeah,
I,
man, coming out of that, I found out how to
You have any
preserve.
pictures? See what me I talk about. You hear that, Jelly?
I hear you, man. And the pictures of them drilling the France,
Let me tell you something fascinating, you know.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. I love why mine work
Yeah,
and
man,
think, man. I love why mine work,
I,
Margaret. Trust me.
yeah, man, I have pictures
Me
saved on my
too.
Google Drive, so I can send to Margaret and I can send to you
Yeah, man.
some about early work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Because
man.
when
Would I
Google
love
ready,
to
it's
them.
like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You saw the
yeah, man.
conversation them good up, Francis. When you come here, so you wouldn't know so what I talk about them.
That's amazing. But listen, exactly. Listen to me. Francis, it does make me really happy. I'm not gonna lie to you. Just listening to your story has made me very happy this morning. I'm gonna put it in my joy journal. I have a joy journal.
All right. And Jelly, in regards to
Like
that
I write
wall,
3 things that made me happy. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Francis.
in regards to that digital wall, it,
You know, by heart, Francis. Me just love talk, but anytime me I talk and I think, all me I think about and I say, well, on, but that money can't make off of that or food can't eat if you do it that way there and that way there. Your mind sound the same
yeah,
way. Your mind sound the same.
it's the thing with me, is not to put pen and paper because when I was in doing jewelry design, they
Yeah.
wanted me to draw the design and then make the piece. But
Mm-hmm.
my mind worked the other way around. They make the piece and then do the design after.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's how my mind work. I'm like, I will look at something, and then I will try to reverse engineer it, how it's work.
Mm-hmm.
Because up to this day, I still fix headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of my friends, she came to me with her Bluetooth headphones and the arm was broken. And I had a couple spare headphones about the place. So I said, you know what? Um, I'm going to go ahead and start my operation. So I basically transfer the electronic section, the battery, everything from that to the other one that has a very good arm. And then I change the speakers to put in better sounding speakers. And I mean, if I had access to like the programs and stuff, I could have tweaked the software on it much better to give the audio feedback. But I did what I could, and she loved it. It looks better than it was before. It didn't even look like it's a Frankenstein headphones, and it's much stronger. She don't have to worry about it breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, man.
So creative
Just
mind that
wow.
way.
Yeah.
So like I fix stuff. Anything that another thing I used to do, which I'm going to go back into, is bottle art. That is, I would get a bottle like say a rum bottle or one of the big wine bottles, and I'd cut it, and I'd get like other smaller bottles, and I'd put inside, and then I'd use a UV resin to seal the glass. Just kind of like glass welding. And once it's sealed, you won't even know that it was cut. You just see the bottle inside and wonder how that got in there. And a
Mm.
project that I had undertaken that I did not get to complete, I got electric conductive paint, which is basically paint that conducts electricity, but you don't get shock.
Mm-hmm.
I used to make lamps as well, and instead of like having the wires exposed and being messy, um, I get the bottle, put my design or whatever inside of it, and I get my lamp fixtures and stuff, and then use a paint and connect it from where the plug is to plug into the wall. Connect it on the bottle and right up to the fixture itself. So it's like you see the light up, but you don't know where the wires are. You wonder how that is done. So it's like that's pretty cool. And I found out that later on they have electric conductive, which is like what the phones use to wirelessly charge. So I'm like, that's another way to transfer electricity. Gives them a mind-blowing experience.
So, sorry. So, when you learn, that don't sound like a something you learn, Francis. It's something like you were born with in terms of that's the mind we have. Because it's like, so listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you pick up in a school.
No, actually, the way my mind think, I'm always willing to learn stuff. When I was at Edna, in second year, we had a course called 2D, 3D, which is where they try to open your mind and deal in um, conversion stuff from like 2 dimensional to 3 dimensional. So it starts with a drawing, and then you get like a cutout working with colors, like three basic colors. I worked with triangles, and you go ahead and you try to match them in a certain pattern on the paper, and then you transpose that into a 3 dimensional item. What I did was a polyhedral, which is basically like a triangle with 1, 2, 3, 4 windows on it. But the windows were cut out, and inside it were other small triangles that were attached on each side of that main triangle and attached back to front on each side, on the inside. And I had that displayed upside down. Like instead of the points up, the points is down, and it was held by fish line, so it looked like it was suspended by itself, and you didn't really see what was holding it. That was my thing, and after that, for the second semester, what I did was a light box, a mirror light box. So what that is like you have mirrors inside. Well, you have the glass inside the box. There's one base mirror, but you get like a reflective film to make a one-way mirror, so you can look in the box, but it gives an infinite depth of field. So it's like you're looking down, down, down into a never-ending depth. When you look outside the box, it's like, what's going on? It gives the illusion that this box has depth and it goes on, but you just see on the outside. So that was something that I did, and I incorporated lights in it, which added to the feel, which was pretty cool.
More than cool, Francis. You know, every time you talk about something, I don't think.
Boy, Francis just blowing my mind. You hear me?
Yeah, him have
Just blowing
him
my
have a
mind
creative
over
mind, you
and
know.
over and over
Yeah,
and over.
it's not just
Oh
creative, you
my
know.
God.
Him have a practical creative mind. It's like him not just create sake, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like him a look at that as
Yes.
a solution to it, but him a find creative way to solve the problem. No,
Yeah, I mean, the way I view art, it should be functional. I mean, art is beautiful, but it should have a function too.
right.
And Leonardo da Vinci is one of the persons who inspired me. Because, he built the first helicopter, the first tank, and the first submarine, hundreds of years before they actually
Who is
were
that? Who's that,
functional.
Francis? Who was that your name?
Leonardo da Vinci,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
I
he was
didn't
a
even know
scientist
that.
as well. He was a scientist as well as an artist.
An artist, but you know him as him artwork for true, Margaret. That is true. I didn't know that either, Francis. I didn't know that either. So him inspire you then, Francis?
Yeah, I got my inspiration from him. I mean, him build stuff that work. And even in art school, one of the stuff that we learned about these various artists and then the local artists as well. We learned on them. But for me, I always like to mix art with science to make it more exciting.
Yes, I wasn't too off then, Margaret, when I slipped. If you notice the name of the show at the top on the Discord channel, it's a Francia. I rush and I spell Francis' name wrong.
No.
Interesting as that was my name on one of the profiles that I signed up for until like, oh wait, I need to change it and put the S there.
Oh, really, yeah?
Yeah.
Aye.
So with that love for science and
But Francis,
technology,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, for that love for science and technology, it brought me into the realm of phones because I'm like, cameras are great, but they're big and bulky. I want something that's portable. And I started looking on phones. The phone that actually caught my eye was the Windows phones because, I mean, when they came out, they were leagues ahead of the other phones in terms of camera technology and in terms of how they do other things and how the phone manages memory and RAM. You get like a 32 gig Windows phone back in the day when you have a BlackBerry that comes with like what 2 gigs of RAM, and the speed of that was like equivalent to Android phone with about 4 or 6 gigs of RAM because it managed the memory so good. But the algorithm that they put into the camera technology and the lenses that they would use, as for Nokia at the time, their main partner was Zeiss. Zeiss Optics is a German camera lens maker, makes some of the best lenses in the world, kind of like Leica. And what's the other one? Hasselblad, as Hasselblad actually made the cameras that were used on the moon landing to take pictures of the Earth. And to this day, I think about 2 or 3 of them are left on the moon. They were too heavy to bring back. But yeah, looking at all of that, phone makers have been partnering with camera makers since then up until now to try to make the best cameras. And looking at that, I'm like, if I have this technology in my hand and I can get a rig and put my phone on and put a regular DSLR lens on it, why do I need to buy $1,000 camera and I have the phone here that has the AI and the tech? I can edit the pictures on it and Bluetooth it and I print it to get printed. I have everything I need right here. Plus, it's waterproof, and I can put it in a case if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to upgrade, I don't have to spend bag of money. I just, wait on sale or just go for a particular brand that's camera focused.
Mm-hmm.
So there's Huawei before Trump put the ban on it, and now them come back because Harmony OS is like now the third most used operating system.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Kai OS as well, which focus on phones that don't use much memory. And there's another one I remember. And you see, there is Samsung, which everybody run down. I mean, they're very good. They have amazing zoom qualities. iPhone is great for videos. Some people prefer to use it for pictures, and I will not them. Each person has a preference. And then you have Sony, that is for those who are like a niche market. Because Sony make 8K screens and their cameras, the mirrorless DSLR cameras, like top of the line. So their phones actually utilize the same sensors and the same technology as their actual cameras, but the price is up there. I stick with like a Google Pixel. The AI is good, the camera is good, the price is affordable. Getting the same features as say like a top tier Samsung or iPhone at a fraction of the price. So I tend to look on tech and see where it's going and see how I can incorporate that in whatever I do.
So most of the pictures I may take, Francis, now are on the phone.
All my pictures on phones.
Oh, really? I wouldn't have known that at all. Margaret, would you have known that the pictures they might take on the phone take them?
Yeah, he told me on the thing it tell you.
Okay.
On the Instagram.
Okay, I never even
It
realized
tell you that
yeah,
his phone picture, yeah.
I know I see why.
Yeah, man.
You kinda know. As I say, every time you open my mouth, Francis, and I hear the passion of your voice when you start talk about this, that's why I make you just talk. Because I hear the passion of your voice, my brother.
Yeah.
I hear the passion of your voice.
Yeah.
Man.
For you do, and the love you have
No.
for it and all of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, technology is a nice thing, but
Mhm.
you just have to know where you do, you get lost in it.
Yeah, man, right. And
Because
you sound like you have found a niche where, because you have an entrepreneurial mind, just technology for tech's sake, you say, how you going to make it add value to
yeah,
you.
and that's true. And I keep up to par with as an entrepreneur, man, I keep up to date with the prices of cell phones locally versus internationally. I have a list of retailers and sellers that if somebody comes and say, yo, I want a phone, but I have this amount of money, like, what kind of spec you want? I tell you what, iPhone 8, you want that? 25 to 30 grand. We know somebody will have it. Cool. If you want a Google Pixel, depending on the type of model you want. If you want to wait till next month, when the Google Pixel Fold drop, actually drop this month. So the price of the other phones can drop for Google lineup. I mean, the Pixel 7a dropped, so the price for the 6a dropped down even low. Yeah, keep abreast of the trend that's going on, keep abreast of the market. I mean, in terms of a lot of stuff, I tend to watch because I kind of make it my business to know what is going on. When people come to me for certain things, I know where to go, what to get, and what price to give them so I can make a profit myself if I have to go and get it for them.
Yeah. Good to hear, Francis. So when I upgraded my phone again, Margaret, we know I forgot.
Well, yeah, they overseas, so you're not worried about the price them unless, of course, they want to deal them. Then they can tell you who have it like Target and place there.
Sometimes when the price, I just say not necessarily the price, but in terms of what exactly for what you got to do. You could have certain tell me.
Oh, no, that too.
You certainly you know more far more about this than I do. You know what I'm saying to you? So
Yeah.
Me too. Way,
yeah,
yeah.
man. So you do the research, you keep up to date with the technology. That's a boy jelly. You better get that one because the technology are the same money or whatever. You don't know. I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that at all,
Yeah,
Francis.
like if you, well, that's true. If you're iPhone centric, so every September, iPhone drop a new model. And when they drop a new model, the price of the current models will go down. For Samsung, them drop a new model like in the spring. So it's like April, March, then drop a new model price will go down throughout the years. I mean, throughout the month, that the year itself, they release other phones. Because Samsung, they make up the bulk of them shares is mid-range phones. And for every different market, like for India, them have the A series. For the M series, them have the M series, which is like the same as the A series that we get here. So for each region, them have a different model what them promote. So certain models that you find in certain parts of the world, you're not gonna find in America. Um, Samsung only made their phones with Snapdragon chips that was available for North America, and for Europe, them have the Exynos chips. And it turns out that everybody wants a Snapdragon version because it performs much better than the Exynos chip. So for the first, this year, they released all them phones with the Snapdragon chip and everybody happy. Because yeah, better camera feature, better lag, it don't lag like the other one, more memory, all this, all that. It's like when you're buying a car, you know? Like, I want a Ford Mustang, but I want one with the Coyote engine. I don't want with the other EcoBoost engine. Yeah, I'm into cars as well. And yeah, want all them take that.
But hold on, Francis. Me put another idea in the head here now. Let me just ask you because I listen. You don't have a YouTube channel for yourself.
I know a friend tried to get me into a YouTube channel, but I tried to do a review. I actually did a review on a Pixel 5, Google Pixel 5, and I'm not quite versed into the editing software part of it. I attempted to learn, downloaded top InShot, but I still have a little way to go in terms of research on that. It says my focus is learning to edit photos, so I tend to download like Snapseed and Lightroom, and I watch tutorials on those. Um, yeah, I tend to more focus on the photography than the video aspect,
No,
but I'm
but
slowly getting there.
what more I think about is just because my mind different in terms that you focus on the technical side. You see where you know the information we just read off a while ago. Content in terms of
Yeah.
the information we have that have value. If you just come and talk about that, the detail we are talk about, trust me. But at certain things I say behind the paywall, may I have to talk about that behind the paywall, Margaret, because just I listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a message the information from Francis have is like it could have a whole heap of things in terms of that what you want to do, or where you can do, the potential for what you can do. The
Mm-hmm.
information we have, Francis, and the detail we have. Trust me. But
Yeah.
this is fascinating, Francis. Almost 2 hours there at talk, and I didn't ask no a question at all, believe it or not. And I
I
know
realize.
I know when you come, the probably nervous. I said, well, the one Jelima come and ask me, and I said, why? If me,
Actually, no, I just get up and do my stuff and I'm just ready for it. Um, yeah, because the nervous part that was probably years ago.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had an artist talk at one time. There was an artist who came to Edna. I have some pictures of the work that he did. So what he had me do was to make a suit, like a bathing suit out of feathers, to have somebody modeled. And it was a challenge. I managed to do it. And he took pictures of it and then he transposed those images onto like a big piece of board. Like he used nails, different types of nails, size and shades to replicate that image, which was pretty cool. So I'm like, yo, that's neat. And to be a part of that was awesome. I did the artist. I was displayed at Devon House because he did a 1 year residency at Edna Manley at the time. And trust me, that was amazing.
No, Francis, you are amazing. Let me say that to you straight up.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Didn't I, Jelly,
Yeah,
when I met him and I messaged you, didn't I tell you that?
yeah, man.
And I didn't know
The depth.
anything
No, right, right.
compared to what I know now about him. Yes. And I thought he was amazing then. So imagine how I feel now.
Yeah, yeah. This is a special conversation, Francis. Trust me. This is
It really is.
because you see, I
It
come to all of these
really, really
conversations and
is.
open mind, you know. I do have no precondition of when we want it go or any question wants. I'm just make it flow, Francis. And that's why I love them. I talk about things I never know I talk about this man at all. I have no idea. You see what I said to you?
Exactly.
But let me ask you a couple of questions,
And
Francis.
that's why I enjoy joining.
Yeah. You're not on a script, Francis. No script at all. And your mind is so creative and you have an entrepreneurial mind, which is the best thing. I need an entrepreneurial mind, a creative mind to make it work for you. But let me ask you a couple more questions, Francis, before we kind of look forward to winding it down. What the best learning experience you get from Meadowbrook?
The best learning experience from Meadowbrook. Wow. Huh. That's a good question. Best learning experience from Meadowbrook. Well, taken from Meadowbrook is just to be myself and don't try to impress nobody. You try to impress body people, it does not gonna work out for you. I mean, you just be yourself and you just don't care and do what you want to do. I mean, there are rules there, yes. Some of them are meant to be broken, but others you just bend them so you don't get in trouble. But yeah, let's focus on what you love and just move on to it. And people will come to you. And if you focus on just the money and stuff and everything there, it's like you're not gonna love it. You're not gonna really too good at it. But once you focus on what you're doing, you get good at it. You become an expert on it, and people pay any amount of money for that the knowledge or for that expertise.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that, Francis. I do agree with that 100%. Yeah. But may I ask another question? And one of my friends, Seattle Franklin, asked me if I ask all students a question. Yeah, and I want your perspective on it. Because you graduate 20 years after me leave Meadowbrook, right? A generation. I want to know, what you think, this is the question I'm asking if I ask. What you think can be done to inspire Meadowbrook past students to want to give back to the school?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I know what would inspire me to want to give back is seeing the achievements. I want to be a part of those achievements. I mean, seeing a wall like that put up. One thing I wanted to do when I was at Meadowbrook, two things I wanted to do. I wanted to fly, I wanted to be a pilot. And I was so upset when I found out that JC offers a pilot program, training program. I'm like, why Meadowbrook never had that? Why? Another thing I wanted to learn martial arts. I mean, after I left Meadowbrook, I went and studied Kung Fu for like 2 years, Wing Lung Kung Fu and Tai Chi Chan Association at the CBA. Yeah, I would love to go back. They've now changed the school to Iron Lotus Academy. So they now teach other things other than Kung Fu. They teach Muay Thai, Tai Chi, mixed martial arts, a whole bunch of stuff, which is pretty cool. So, I mean, achievements, something that you want to be a part of,
Yeah.
Jamaica is
So
on
that
the
is pretty
top
much
10.
what.
Jamaica is like among the top 10 in terms of martial art competitors in competitions. I mean, Meadowbrook being on that stage, that would be nice, Robotics. I know a couple of schools offer a robotics program and the students excel in it. That would be pretty awesome. I think Meadowbrook have something else, I don't remember, I'm not sure.
Yes, we actually
Partner,
do, and we do very well, Francis, in the
there you go.
robotics.
I mean, robotics is
Yeah.
amazing.
So
I mean,
we do really well there.
taking an example, looking at what's going on with Ukraine versus Russia, Ukraine has taken basic drones and basic stuff that they need and science the heck out of it to turn it into something you see in science fiction. That is helping to turn the tide of war. Um, certain what I realize is that technology that comes out of war trickles down into society, hence the internet. The internet was a part of the US government way of communicating with scientists
Yeah, DARPANET.
back in the
It's part
Soviet
of
era.
DARPANET, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DARPANET,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
And it's done. So, I mean, taking certain stuff and teaching our students and giving them something that they love, giving them choices that they can excel, that would make you want to be a part of it. Because if you're an expert in certain fields and you see that the school is offering it and they extend the olive branch, hey, if you want to come and inspire the students, or if you want to come and offer something in this field, and you feel good when you see somebody doing something that you've taught them and they're excelling in it. You want to even help even more and give even more towards it, because it's rewarding, that feeling that you get. Nothing can compare to it.
I
Margaret,
think this is one of the best answers I've ever heard to this question.
yeah, man. It's along the line where I think about to the wall of fame, Margaret. People have to know and have to see.
Exactly. Yeah, but it took it to another level though.
Yeah.
Not just the wall of fame.
No,
He took
because,
it to another level. I really like this answer.
yeah. And by the way, Francis, the helicopter was landed at Meadowbrook, I think 3 times in the past before you came,
That's nice.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
I know two of them I know good. 2 of them have been on the podcast. Captain Keith White used to fly for your Jamaica and was part of the JDF. Vivian Thomas, I think, a captain too.
Yeah.
Flown for JDF. All of the Meadowbrook students there actually land helicopter upon the Meadowbrook campus.
Well, here's something that can work, a rewards program for high achieving students. If they want to collect skydiving thing,
Yeah.
like, yeah, feel good. You can incorporate in that, the UTech, them skydive and land on the UTech field, and that's really cool. And the land on UE field.
Yeah.
I mean, the Meadowbrook field is big enough for land pan too. So,
Yeah.
have a couple of students get skydiving thing. I mean, the whole experience alone opens your mind to a whole different level. It makes you want to aspire for something else other than just coming to school and doing book work and this and that.
Right.
It's like traveling out of the island into a different country and getting a different experience. That alone, just flying in a helicopter, learning certain things is like, you say, oh, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be a pilot, or I want to work on these magnificent machines to fix them. My handiwork, or, be a paratrooper, something like that.
Yeah.
Those experiences will help motivate the students a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well said, Francis. I agree with you. My brother. Let me ask you 2 more questions before I ask my last question. Well, one of them is not really a question, but let me ask a question first. How it make you feel? I bring up back all these Meadowbrook memories after all these years.
Honestly, no different. No different at all. I mean, that's a life that I lived and I moved on. And don't really feel much in the difference. I'm glad I lived that life. I wouldn't change it because it gave me experiences, whether bad or good. I wouldn't want to go back in time and change it. It makes me the person who I am.
And the second to last, well, not really a question, but both you and Margaret, you first. Is there any question where you think I could have asked you? Anything where you want to talk about what I didn't ask? The floor is yours. Anything where you want to talk about what I didn't ask so what at all?
For me, anything? Not really, kind of like how the flows went.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In terms of questions and stuff, my mind is always blank. In terms of what I could ask. It's just in the spur of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When it's something that's relevant to the topic.
Mm-hmm.
But I do everything right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Margaret, you think I have any question that you ask Francis where I didn't ask, or anything where any topic where I overlook?
No, I think we covered everything.
Yeah. I have a last question, Francis, and I'm going to ask it, although your answer might be different. You might not see it that way there. But we who went to Meadowbrook in the 1980s, I promise it, felt Meadowbrook was a magical place, right? Yes.
Lucky Charms.
But based on how you talk about the school I listen, I may say, like, Meadowbrook probably had changed, right? So I'm going to reframe the question to ask. I'm not going to assume. Was Meadowbrook a magical place for you when you were there?
Coming from primary school to high school, yes, of course.
All right.
This is a whole new world, just like the Disney song.
All right. So let me ask a question. Not for promise it, because you talk about the school different than how we talk about the school, right? What made Meadowbrook magical for you?
The whole experience. I mean, on one transition from primary school into high school, like the people you're talking and interacting with, the whole different mindset is just like how you see in them look at high school movies there.
Oh, I got
It's
you.
a popularity contest. And if you don't know what you're doing, you get lost in it.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, Francis.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. And before I close it out, for the two, and you first, Margaret. No, Francis, you go first. Any closing remark before I close out the program here today?
Well, it was a great conversation. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to more.
Yeah, man. Margaret, Sister Francis, unless you talk about in technology, Francis, I'm on a very few words.
Yes, that's true. My closing remark, Jelly, is that I am so happy that I met Francis that day at Meadowbrook at that art show, because this conversation was just simply amazing. His mind is amazing. His art is amazing. And I just think you're an amazing person, Francis. And I'm glad to have been a part of this conversation.
Yeah,
Thanks again
Thank you.
for inviting me, Jelly.
yeah, man.
You're welcome.
I agree, Francis. You are a gem. That's all I can put. Your mind, I know you think. You're a very, very unique and special person, and it's like I want to say you're a hidden gem, but you're a Meadowbrook's gem. They're not hidden no more. You won't be hidden no more because
True.
your mind, Francis, needs to be on the forefront of a lot of things we want to do for visualize to the school I go forward. So this conversation was enlightening for me in terms of how you think, Because as I say, I have an entrepreneurial mind too. I do have a creative mind. Nothing at the field where you have. I have creative mind, a different thing, but nothing at the artistic field like you and Margaret. When we can look on picture and all them things. I look on ideas. And me think about ideas all the while, Francis. See what I'm saying? So it was
You're
being
more of an intellectual.
yeah man. Yeah man. Yeah, that's on my mind there. I will listen to things and just think about ideas, and trust me. My mind, not at all over the place, but focus on certain things I know what I want to do. See what I'm saying? So this is just the beginning. So someone look on it. So, but your mind, I love you. I love how your mind work, man. I love how your mind work. And trust me, we will do a lot of collaboration together because a lot of things I want to go forward. Your mind will be very helpful to me in terms of just to put certain put it down in a creative way. You see what I'm saying? I have things I want to do, and it's like I'm going to need a creative mind like yours to say, all right, how we can do this a certain way. Just like I go talk about the wall of fame, and you think about it and you say it's a good idea. And I say, right. You don't have visualize already in terms of how it could have done. And all the media. And as I just said, Margaret, I'm going to take out certain part because we know why I got it away there. So, but anyway, this was been happening. I'm close this program. So, Margaret Livermore, Francis Coombs, this is me, Glister, Prince, or Jelly, or Lance, as I don't know. Thank you both for coming and spend the 2.25 hours I talked this morning. This was a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and God bless the whole away, and God bless that great school at Meadowbrook, 2A Meadowbrook Avenue, will put us together. We can have them conversation after all these years from different generations, and I learn from each other, and I lost Meadowbrook same way. See what I say? So, have a good day and enjoy. And God bless us all. And God bless Meadowbrook High School.
All right.
Amen. And the same to
shine.
both of you. That's right. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, cool. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
So, remember to like, share, and subscribe these Meadowbrook Memories podcasts so neither you nor your friends will miss another Meadowbrook conversation. Thanks. Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories, and remember to give us all the support and encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook Memories, and he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince.